Hello everyone, welcome to the Spotlight. We're here the day when AMAD breaks City and City's meltdown continues and United seem to be rising, not quite to the top, but from the depths of where we were. There is some positivity to be had. I think we played very well yesterday, especially second half. We didn't deserve to go behind. The goal, if you want to be critical, it is a deflection, so it's probably a hard cross to defend, to be fair. But Højlund gets stuck under the ball, and it's a decent header by Guardiola, to be fair. But, yeah, apart from that, City looked absolutely toothless, didn't they? And I do think we have to take this into consideration before we start to get overly carried away. That City looked really poor again yesterday. But we have AMAD Diallo in the side, and everything that was positive from us yesterday pretty much come from AMAD. His header, saved by Edison, and then I think, can you imagine if we had Rashford or Garnacho intercepting that pass when they went round Edison? They would have tried shooting with the left foot, and neither of them have got one, and it would have gone into Rose Ed. AMAD calm, composed, took an extra touch, and was taken out by Nunez. That is the difference in class we've got here with AMAD. And I truly believe it, and I've said it for ages. The way AMAD moves with the ball at his feet in tight spaces and his close control, he can just demolish defenders with his dribbling. It's incredible. And people think Garnacho and Rashford are dribblers. They're not. They're knock and run players. AMAD, his technical ability and his technical dribbling skills are on an absolute... They're not on another level. They're on another planet to players like Rashford and Garnacho. And obviously, his second goal again, he gets in behind from a good ball by Martinez, flicks it over the keeper's head, and the finish is composed, controlled, good connection on the ball. And absolute difference maker in that number 10. I do think we should have had a penalty. It would have been one of them ones where you say it's soft, but the reality of it is to me, Højlund gets there before Diaz, and he puts his leg across him, and he goes down. It wasn't a shoulder-shoulder body contact in the fall. His leg is across him, in front of him. To me, it's a penalty. What are they on about? The refs saying, not in a game of this magnitude. It was clumsy. So you're telling me like now if we're playing in a big game, you can't give penalties for soft stuff. If you do a clumsy tackle, it's no longer a foul. I mean, what are they talking about? You know, it's absolute drivel what they were on about yesterday with that decision, in my opinion. Couple of things to point out on my usual 1 second of Bruno chat. I thought he was quite good first half. I thought he was bang average second half. I mean, has Bruno got better under Amorim? You could probably say yes, but better has taken him from being absolutely dreadful to being just above absolutely dreadful to average. Again, he's the captain of the side. He's just not doing enough, is he? I mean, if you think that a performance from a Man United captain of him dropping into the pivot and now instead of hitting a Hollywood ball every 2 seconds, he's passing it 10 yards, means he's playing better, then you've got another thing coming. Clearly, Mount and AMAD were Amorim's 10's choice. And Agate, again, very good yesterday. Bruno's not a long-term partner for Agate. Mainu ended up coming on, and he was a bit ropey to start with, but looked steady in there, looked good. So you would think long-term, we're either going to have another 8 and Agate or Mainu and Agate. And the 10s, I mean, Bruno might get a reprieve because it looks like Rashford and Garnacho, Amorim ain't a fan of, and Mason Mount, as much as I like the guy, he's not made of frigging glass. He's made of already broken glass, a bit like Luke Shaw. And I hate to say this about Mount because Amorim loves him, and I'm a big fan of Mount as well in the team structure. that he just works in this system. He knows how to play it. He's got the energy. He's got everything. But the problem is he's just glass. And until he can get over his injury issues, I don't really know what to say. I think some people are saying it's mild, like he felt something, so he might come off as a precaution. Hopefully that's the case, but where does Bruno fit in the side? Like I said, if we get Mainu firing or a new number 8 or someone else for the pivot, like an Edison people are talking about, and he ain't a 10, if AMAD and Mount have sealed them positions down, where does he play? Honestly. But yeah, I mean, what a day. Liverpool drawing as well. It absolutely made no difference to our league position, but it's a huge 3 points against City. Whatever you think of City, City's meltdown is wonderful to watch. The 1-1-5, 8 losses in 11 games. Pep Guardiola scratching his face up like a chicken's landed on his head. It's just wonderful, innit? I mean, what else could you ask for as a Man United fan for Christmas than City having a meltdown? But yeah, there's obviously a lot of talk about Garnacho and Rashford being left out the squad. Amorim saying some strong words as well about it's the way you eat, the way you dress, the way you conduct yourself with the rest of the team, the way you support your teammates, the way you play, train and everything else. And it's really, I mean, he's not singling them two out saying things, but the things he said, when you actually really deep it, they are damning statements from Amorim. Then you had what Rennie Hack said in the week about some of the players there that don't want to take on new philosophies, that don't want to change, the two set in the ways. It really is damning on some of those players in that squad and dressing room. And is this the end for Marcus Rashford at Man United? I mean, it has to be, surely. He's got away with murder over the last few seasons, and everyone says he scored 30 goals a couple of seasons ago. He had half a good season that season. From February onwards, he was as bad as he is now. I've mentioned it loads of times on videos. He peaks high and he troughs higher. We could turn around tomorrow and Rashford starts every game for 10 games and scores 20 goals. The problem is, he'll go on another run where he has 3 years of him doing nothing. The guy's 27, 28 years old. He's been given a profile of Mbappe and the player skill of Vardy, if that. His ego's through the roof. He's all about him and not the team, in my opinion. And I said it on my last video. I don't want to be too harsh on Rashford, but the facts are him and Garnacho do not suit this system. They're not wing backs, they're not strikers, and they're not 10s. And with all the baggage that's come with Rashford over the last couple of years and the press and the media attention on him and the hype and the focus, if we could get 40 million for Marcus Rashford, take it. And I've said before about Garnacho loads of times, he's on the same trajectory as Rashford is at this current time. For me, he's got until next summer, so not the summer coming, the summer after, so 2026, to prove that he can change and work in this team. And if he can't work in this team, I would sell him as well. Because, like I said, he don't fit the system, so unless he can adapt, there's no place for him. And everyone talks about Garnacho's hero being Ronaldo. He wants to follow his footsteps playing for Real Madrid. I mean, Real Madrid are not signing Garnacho based on his current form and status. They've got Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rafinha. You know what I mean? He's nowhere near. If he went to Real Madrid, he'd be doing a Gareth Bale. He'd never get on the frigging pitch based on his current form. And I'll say it again, and I'll say it as many times as you all want to hear it and probably disagree, we all bang on about Anthony having no right foot. Garnacho has got no left foot. It's something else he's got to work on. And to be fair play to Anthony, he's come on in the last 2 games and he's put a shift in and he's done all right. And people are mega critical of Anthony, and obviously he hasn't been anywhere near good enough. But as a system player, as a wing back, I actually think Anthony has the attributes to do that. Probably would work better on the left, I think, personally, than the right as a wing back, because you can defend on your good foot and you can cross on your good foot. And I think as a left, I mean, we haven't got a left wing back, and people are digging Delo out again. Guy's playing on his wrong foot all the time. If Anthony's coming on as substitute appearances on the right wing back and playing all right, is it really such a big ask to think that he could do it on the left on his good foot for 90 minutes in a Premier League game versus a lesser Premier League side? I don't think so. Personally, I'd try it. And that is all I've got to say about the game. AMAD, the new number 16, somebody to finally take over Roy Keane's shirt. I think I even want an AMAD shirt. The new 16. I hope he can go on and play and be as great for this club as Roy Keane was back in the day. Kissing the badge, loving the fans at the end. It's absolutely amazing to see as a Man United fan. And obviously there's not been a lot to be positive about as a United fan over the last couple of years especially. But yesterday, the performance was a good one. The result was a great one. And the team ethic and work rate and togetherness of yesterday is something you've really got to take positive out of. Højlund, AMAD, even Bruno, Martinez. I mean, De Ligt absolutely solid at the back, same as Maguire. The togetherness of the team is there. And Amarin come in and he said it's a team game, not a game for individuals. And I think we saw that this weekend, that the team is there. And I wouldn't take beating City that we're going to beat Spurs on Thursday. We might not even beat Bournemouth on Sunday. Very different games. City are in an absolute rut. They look lethargic. They're easy to get on the counter. Spurs are way more energetic than City. They're still counterable, but it'll be a very different game. I mean, it is the Cup, so there might be a lot of changes, but City are a very different team to Spurs. And obviously, Bournemouth, you'd expect us to have most of the ball and pen them back. It's can we get in behind them? But Bournemouth are a dangerous side themselves. They've had some great results lately, and they're up there in the league. They'll be higher up than we are. It's not a game you can take for granted at all. So I won't take this City game that we're back, we're here to stay. But let's hope we are. Let's hope this winter period from now and all the games we've got till the start of January, we can put in some seriously competitive games and get us up the league. Because I think we're close to 4th place, I think now. Let me just have a quick gander before I go. Very quickly at the league, everybody. The table. We are 12th. No, we're still 13th on 22 points. 4th place is Forest on 28. So 6 points off 4th, which is not particularly great. But 3 points off 6th. So there's loads of fixtures between now and the start of January. We can easily be in the top 6, top 4 if we can put a string. We don't even have to win 5 games in a row. If we can win 3 of the next 5, with the way everybody else beats each other in this league, we're right up there in the European spots. And let's just hope this togetherness and this City game has really given these players the boost that they need to take them to that level of consistency to win game after game. because winning 3 or 4 games in this Premier League in a row, you'll jump right up the league. And on that note, I'm out of here. Let's beat Spurs on Thursday and keep the positivity vibe rolling. And AMAD Diallo is an absolute legend in the making. Let's treat this kid like he deserves to be treated. And goodbye and subscribe.